All right, everybody, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on a lot of stuff that is happening over the next 7 years. And I'm excited for it. But before we get into it, I have a little news, a little excitement. You can already tell by my face, I'm really excited. After a 6 year battle with my illness and everything I've gone through, the 5D transformation, the jump, etc., I finally returned back to the gym. And yeah, I am so excited because honestly, with the damage the illness did to my body, I never thought that I was going to get back to the gym. And I finally completed my first week last week, and I went to the gym last yesterday even. And honestly, it was thanks to a coworker as well, because for the last maybe month and a half, I've really been debating whether or not to go to the gym. And a coworker of mine said, "Hey, I go to the gym. I go to LA Fitness." And I said, and she's like, "Yeah, if you ever want to come with," she's like, "Absolutely." And I have a membership there, anyways. And I was nervous. I got to be honest with you. I was really nervous, and I went anyways. And the first day was a little rough because all the nerves were going. Can I handle it? Is my body going to hold up? What's going to happen? And it felt really good. And then the second day, I went the next day again, and I didn't push myself. And I was like, all right, let's take it slow. Well, I've done about 5 sessions now, and including yesterday, and I feel amazing. My body hurts. I'm sore. It's crazy, but I wanted to share this with you guys because if you have been a part of this channel for a long time, you know the struggles of my journey that have been the past 6, 7 years. And yeah, I'm just really excited to be back. My life is coming back. I'm so excited, which is why I'm doing this video and why I am going to talk about what's going on and what's heading over the next 7 years for a lot of people, especially the next couple years. But are you feeling the shifts going on lately? Because the shift is going crazy, and I'm losing all my notes here. I don't know why. I upgraded my whole PC. I got the new Asus Dark Hero X87 or 8870, and I got the new Ryzen 9 9000. I wanted to go with the 9500, but yeah, it was just a little bit too expensive, and I had to upgrade the RAM, which is crazy. But anyways, I'm getting off track because you know me, I'm a little nerdy. But are you feeling it yet? Are you feeling the craziness that's happening inside? Because yeah, there's a lot of shifts we were talking about, and again, I'm not going to go into astrology because we don't really do astrology, but it does factor into a lot of what's going on with the great push that's happening right now. And this is very important for us. The first thing I'm going to say is that we need to take a deep breath, and we need to settle things down because the world is going to try to stress you out. Remember, the old patterns of the third dimension world, the trap, what people call the matrix, etc. That is the illusion of fear and anxiety and without and no love and all the chaos that's coming with. And that's meant to teach you how to get out of it, to love yourself, to reawaken yourself, to realize that you are in fact a god, and you are everything and anything that exists, and there's nothing external. And in order for us to do that, we have to learn to get out of what people call the matrix, what people are calling life or whatever, and it's not really getting out of the sense of leaving it, trying to escape it, because that's a fear-based reality. When people say I want to escape something, that means they don't understand it. They're rejecting it. They hate living it because they don't understand how to control their emotions. They don't understand how to control their mental. They don't know who they are in truth. There are a lot of people that are online, and I see it all the time on Reels. And again, I would never put anyone down because everyone is at their own evolution. But there are a lot of people out there that are good at parroting what information is out there. And you can tell because they just rattle off things over and over and over, and people will follow them and they'll get lots of likes, but that doesn't mean they actually understand the information. And this whole concept has to be removed. And this is what this next stage is about. Because when you buy into all the concepts, what's happening, what's going to happen to me, are these things in my life going to stay forever? This is all fear. And we have to remove ourselves from here. This is part of the great push. This is part of what Uranus is going into Gemini. And for many of you are going to start the next 7 years of what I went through. And let me tell you something, it is not fun, it is not easy, but I will tell you it was well worth it. I'm not finished with my transformation. I am not finished with my growth. Growth is an always going, always constant thing in my life. It will always be, because that's why we are here. Remember, Earth is our school. We are meant to learn here, and we are meant to enjoy it as well. But you will be going through, if you're really working on yourself and you're really working through the evolution, not just because you're a Pisces or you're a Scorpio or you're an Aries or you're an Aquarius, not because of that, but if you can be any sign. If you're truly working on yourself, then you will be going through what I went through for the next 7 years, what I went through for the past 6-7 years. And it's going to be very gradual. So you have to be very patient with yourself and the process. I will be honest with you. I feel like recently, the reason why I'm so excited about going to the gym, because I feel like I got out of jail. I really do. I really feel for the first time in the last 6-7 years since I've been basically under house arrest, a spiritual house arrest, going through this, battling, getting better and everything. I feel like I've finally been released. Like I finally get out of jail and I'm finally back in life again, living my life and doing the things that I need to do. And it's a great feeling. And the process, some of it sucked. It was really tough. It was really mentally, emotionally draining on me. It really beat on me, especially towards the end. The first couple of years, I was okay, let's go through this. But then after a while, because my mind and my body was so active and always going out and doing things, and I don't mean with people. I was always exercising, riding my bike, going camping, traveling, doing public speaking, etc. And everything came to a halt. So after the first couple of years, my mind was saying, I want to get out and go do things. I want to go, I want my life back. And it was a process that I really had to learn to adjust to. And even now, when I'm going to the gym and doing things, I'm not doing things the same anymore. I'm not going out aggressively. My mindset has changed, my life has changed, and everything that I've been doing has adjusted to the new version of who I am and who I'm still becoming. So for those of you that are going to be going through the next 7 years, what I've been going through, there is a theme that I really want you guys to focus on. And one of it is communication, and that is communication to the self. That is not just communication to everybody else. Yes, that will be part of this. But first, it's communication to the self, because this is about an inward journey. This is about going inward. Remember many videos ago, if you haven't seen it, go through my videos. And I talked about the next few years being from 2026 to 2029 is an inward journey. Well, this is part of that inward journey of communication, of asking the question, who am I really? Why am I doing things? What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with myself? What is the purpose? And not purpose of my purpose in life, because everyone has the same purpose, is to grow and learn. And it's not really like to be a doctor or to be a teacher or whatever it is. Those aren't purposes. Those are things we do while we're here on Earth. But communication of self, build that communication of the inner dialogue of who we are, why we're doing it, what we're going through, and be truthful with it. The truth is really the hardest part about communication. And that's part of the theme too, is truth, is recognizing truth within, recognizing our old patterns, our old how we lie to ourselves, how we lie to others, what we're not willing to face, what we haven't dealt with. Because let me tell you something, the next 7 years will force you to deal with everything that you refuse to deal with. And if you don't deal with it, it's going to be a very painful, very chaotic time for you. And that's not to build fear into you. Remember, this is not a fear-based channel. This is about understanding, because what's happening is you're agreeing to evolve, but if you're not willing to look at things that need to be resolved, then that friction is going to build inside of you, and it's going to create tension, and it's going to create disharmony. So this is really your choice. Remember, I've always been the type of person that has looked at myself, has no problem saying, hey, I messed up. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. Teach me. Like most of the time, I tell you guys all the time, I feel really stupid. I'm always in amazement of new things I'm learning, and new things that come into me, or new perspectives on old ways. And the truth has to be number one, because in order for communication to happen, you have to be truthful with yourself, and that thought process brings in all that information. So when you're rejecting something, when you're moving on from something, that mental awakening can't happen. So everything has to break down. All the old ideas, all the old values, all the old belief system, even the way of living. And this actually happened to me the other day too. I go to some of these local kava bar tournaments just because it gets me out of the house, and I go to some of the pool hall tournaments. And for a while I was going to this one particular kava bar, and I was doing this tournament because a few of my friends were there, and I was asked to ref, and I started reffing the tournaments week after week and running the tournaments, and and all of a sudden I came in last week, and I was getting a feeling inside that I should step away from these type of tournaments and move on to something differently. And I was like, okay, well, when the time comes, I'll do it. And that Saturday, I walked into the kava bar, and the person who I co-run it with came up to me and said, Raina, so I have to talk to you about something. I said, sure, what's going on? And they were like, well, some of the three of the people who play in the tournament had an issue with you watching the ball when you were, to ref the ball, and to make sure there's no fouls or anything. And they said because you were looking at it and you were close to it, they missed the ball. Well, that's not true, because I've been reffing for a long time. I know not to get close. I was looking at the ball, yes, but it was an excuse for them because they were missing it. And it was three people that I beat a lot that have issues with me because I'm a very strong person. I speak my mind, and I don't take anything from anybody. And with that being said, is that I realized in that instant that was my sign to move away, to walk away, because I was doing a nice thing for everybody. I was taking my time, my energy, my education, and I was trying to make the tournament a nice tournament, a fair tournament, a clean tournament. And yeah, it was just a cheesy tournament, but I was trying to add some honor to it, some value to it, to make it a little bit nicer. And when three people who were friends got together and decided to all, I realized that they're taking a nice thing and they're putting the blame on something else so that they don't have to put the blame on themselves. And in that moment, I realized I no longer needed to be at that tournament. And believe it or not, I forfeited my match. I packed up my stuff and I went out and I said, see you guys later. And I have no intention of going back. And that's part of the shift as well, understanding that everything breaks down. Old ideas, old values, old beliefs, old way of living. So you have to remove yourself from that, and don't be afraid of that, because that's going to affect this type of growth. So remember, focus on inner knowing. Feel what you're feeling inside. If something no longer feels right with you, or something feels, I should say, if it doesn't have resonance with you, or it doesn't meet with you, then it should go away, or it should be removed, or you should take a step back and really look at it and say, okay, what's going on with this? Do I need to be with these people anymore? Do I need to be with this place anymore? Do I need to be with this job, whatever it is, and make the shift, because this is all about shifting. Those that hold on to old ideas, that refuse to grow, will see life as chaotic and troubled and terrible, and they will refuse to, and they will keep creating fear, and they will refuse to move. And you will see a lot of people refusing to grow. You will see a lot of people buying into TV and politics and belief systems, and even people that say that they're awakening and use these 5D concepts, because I see it all the time on social media, where people will use fear of as part of, oh, if you're awakening, you found this chosen one, and they use words like chosen one, and if you don't want this to happen, then do this, and they use fear-based beliefs to get likes and to get follows and everything, and those that will follow that will stay chaotic. You're accepting change in life, and life will change for you. You'll say, okay, well, hey, and I did this again the other day. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let go of everything that I need to go, and it's not going to be no longer a struggle. Remember, struggle equals resistance, or resistance equals struggle, and acceptance equals change, and that will be a smoother transition. So one of the last things I want to talk about before we head this video, because I already see I'm at 16 minutes, is instead of reacting, learn to create. Creation is such an amazing thing when you realize how much of a good creator you are. And when you react to things, it's because you don't understand things. You have an emotional attachment to an outcome. You have a deep-rooted expectation. So turn these reactions from ideas, places, things, people, etc., and create changes. Create the ideas that you want, and start integrating what you've learned during this period. Because remember, this is a very gradual thing. There's going to be a lot of demolishing. There's going to be a lot of times where you're just going to feel like you're in quicksand and everything's deep coming down. But allow it to release itself. Don't fear it. Just say, you know what, these are old structures. These are old systems. These are old ideas and beliefs and ways of living that I have to let go, because if I want to become the new version of who I really am, and a clean version of a higher vibrational being, then I have to let go of this. And as you're letting go, learn what the information is, and really learn it, and then integrate it into the system, and that's going to change everything for you. All right, everybody, I'm going to enjoy my kombucha and eat my lunch, and I want to thank all of you for joining us today. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or write to me or anything like that. Leave comments, everything, because I want to hear about your journey as well. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day.